Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di and today I'm sharing with you my diary entry for the week of April 28th through May 4th. Today is Saturday, May 4th, and I did quite a bit this week. I finished one book. I'm in the middle of two other books. I have three knitting projects to talk to you about. One of them is a new cast on. And I have a Yarnie acquisition section this time, and I will talk to you about the finished drama that we finished watching this week. So, a few things to get through this week, so let's get into it. We'll start off with what I finished reading this week. I finished A Ghoul's Guide to Love and Murder by Victoria Laurie. This is the 10th installment in the Ghost Hunter Mystery series. As of right now, it is the final. However, like I've mentioned before, there is one more coming out. I'm not sure if the author plans on continuing past that one, but I do know there is one in the works. It was supposed to be out by the end of April, but the author did a multi-state move, and so things are just slightly delayed. I am still looking forward to the next installment regardless. And this, after finishing, still remains one of my most favorite series ever. So this series follows our psychic medium MJ, her best friend Gilly, and another psychic medium named Heath. And a bit into this series is when MJ and Heath meet, and from there they kind of get recruited for a TV show that's kind of like Ghost Hunters, where they go to different locations and do ghost hunts. And the thing that kind of makes it different is that because MJ and Heath are psychic mediums, they're able to communicate with the spirits, and sometimes they're very malevolent and other times they're not, and they're able to help them cross over. And so it's just a really interesting series. The author herself is a psychic medium, and I just really enjoy this series. I enjoy MJ and Gilly's relationship. They've been best friends like forever. We get a lot of glimpses throughout this series about their families, MJ's and Gilly's. We kind of touched on that in the 9th installment when I talked to you about that. We get Heath's family story kind of in volume 6, I think. Probably my favorite installments of this series have got to be the 5th installment, the 7th installment, and this one. I really do feel like this particular installment kind of just brings everything full circle. So in this particular one, MJ and Heath are having to deal with a little bit of a situation because Gilly did something not so smart. So as MJ and Heath and Gilly have gone through all of these like ghost hunts and things, and they've recorded these TV shows, they're kind of just now starting to get some publicity. There's a company out there who wants to make a movie out of their footage from the recording that they did in book 7. And so there's like a lot of hype around them right now, and this museum wants to make this like exhibit about things that MJ and Heath and Gilly have picked up during their actual like ghost hunts. And while MJ and Heath are away, Gilly decides to take one of their most dangerous artifacts and lend it to the museum. And that just opens a whole can of worms, and it brings out some of the spirits that our team has dealt with over the entirety of this series. And so, like I said, brings everything full circle, revisits some of the most harrowing spirits that they've encountered during the series, and just kind of brings everything full circle for our team. And I really enjoyed this one. I felt like as a series closer, this was a good way to end it. And I was very comfortable with how the series was like finished. But now that there's going to be another one, I'm very interested to see where that's going to go, especially with the things that happen in this one. And so, yes, I am on pins and needles waiting for that last or next installment, because I don't know if the author has decided that that is actually going to be the last one, but still one of my most favorite series. Had to give this one 5 stars. This did not change my rating since my first read of it. In fact, I had actually written a review for this one, so by the time I had gotten around to reading this installment, I was finally writing reviews on Goodreads, so there was a written review there. None of my thoughts have changed. Still really, really enjoyable. Still one of my most favorite series, and I'm so glad that I had time to reread this one. And so, yes, really, really enjoyed that. So that's the only book that I finished this week. I ended up finishing it in May. I did use it for my Orilium Magical Readathon prompt to read a book with a light source on the cover because she has a candlestick. And so that finished up all my prompts for the Orilium Magical Readathon. And so I was able to complete that, which is great. It took me a little bit longer, just a few hours. But it is what it is, and I did complete all my classes. So I'm ready to start fresh for our fall term in, what is it, August? I think it's August. Or is it September? I can't remember. It's sometime in there. But yes, really, really enjoyable. And so, yeah, finished off all of my prompts for that and really enjoyed my reread. So that leaves me with what I am currently reading. And I've decided that for May, it's going to be Mood Read May. I'm going to read whatever I want during May with no prompts. I'm not participating in any readathons. And I'm just going to try to find my happy place again with my reading. And so I am continuing to read Kingdom Keepers 3, Disney in Shadow by Ridley Pearson. I am on chapter 21, page 204. So far, this one is just not grabbing my attention. And I think it's because right now where I am, we have just finally started going into the parks and doing what the Kingdom Keepers do, which is to thwart the villains' plans. Don't quite know yet exactly what's going on, except that they are looking for somebody, or Kingdom Keepers are. And so they've just visited the parks twice in the last few chapters. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening outside of the parks in this particular one. And a lot of it is not interesting to me. And there's some teenage kind of drama going on also, which I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy drama in general. And so, yeah, I think all of that is just making this one a little bit hard for me to get into. And so, yeah, I read a couple of chapters here and there every night when I can. But it's just not grabbing me the same way the first two did. So, yeah, I will continue reading this one. But it's slow going for me. It is slow going. And with the size of this one, it's probably going to take me a while, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll take as long as it needs to. But I do expect that this should start picking up for me soon because, like I said, they are going into the parks now and they are starting to work on that mission that they are trying to get accomplished. And so it should pick up for me. So we'll see about that over the next week. And then the other book that I started was a library hold that came in. And that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So this is a book that I actually had no intention of reading until I read Checkmate a few months ago. So if you remember, I read Checkmate, which is her kind of YA romance novel about chess, competitive chess. And I read that as part of kind of my plans this year to try to read things that I probably wouldn't have picked up normally and try to figure out what kinds of things I'm really enjoying because I feel like I've kind of lost my tastes. I don't know what I like anymore. And so I thought starting with the Goodreads Choice Award winners would be a good way to kind of try to venture out and see if I actually, one, don't like really popular hyped things, and two, if maybe there are genres out there that I've been avoiding that I do actually like. And I was very, very surprised that I enjoyed Checkmate. And so I thought, she's got this paranormal romance story out there, and it's like a standalone, which is something that I don't normally read either. You know, let me try that out. And so I put it on hold at the library. And it just so happened this week that both my ebook copy and my audiobook copy got released to me within days of each other. So the audiobook copy got released to me first. And so I decided to go ahead and start listening to that. It is a story about an arranged marriage between a vampire and a werewolf. And so the vampire and werewolves have like a bad history with each other. Historically, the mortality rates between the two because of issues has been high. And so this is kind of a political marriage. And so I am about 46% of the way in. And our couple are going on kind of like a spy mission, kind of an undercover covert operation to try to get some information. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's actually much more enjoyable than Kingdom Keepers for me. And it's keeping my interest. So paranormal stories must be where it is for me right now, because I read Dark Prince last month and enjoyed it, other than, you know, what I talked about. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and enjoyed it. And now I've got Bride and I'm enjoying it. And so, yeah, I think that's just where my interest lies right now. And I'm just going to roll with it. So really enjoying this one, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's all going to end up. So that is what I am currently reading. That's everything that I have read so far. I have a stack of stuff next to my bed that I really want to get into. Just a lot of things that I have been wanting to read for a while, and just other things keep getting in the way. I was also asked to read a review copy for a Korean book that has just been recently translated into English that sounds really interesting. So I'm going to put that one on my plate hopefully soon as well. And so, yeah, should be some interesting things to talk to you about next week. But as far as my reading goes, that's everything that I am currently into. So I guess it's time for another Yarnie update. So I was able to work a little bit on my Haikyuu socks in my Competo bag that my mom made for me. So this is one of the Hawari Bazaar anime yarn clubs in the Haikyuu colorway. So this is the main skein. And like I said, I always get the sock set. So it comes with a coordinating mini. And so this is what I'm working with. I was able to put in a little bit, and oops, it looks like one of the stitches has come off the needle. So these 9-inch circulars are a little bit dangerous. But I am working on this here, so you can kind of see this is where I was the last time I talked to you, and this is where I am now. So I did put in a little bit of work on it. I'm enjoying it. This is just a regular sock, 1x1 rib, 3x1 broken rib. I'll do about 45 rows before I put in my square heel turn. And this is my second sock, so it'll look like this eventually. And so I'm really looking forward to having the pair to wear to the Haikyuu movie, the dumpster battle movie that's coming out. Really, really looking forward to getting those tickets. It's not available yet, as far as I can tell, but I will have Haikyuu socks to wear. So definitely plan on getting these done relatively soon and putting more focus on working on these socks. And so, yeah, just going round and round on the 9-inch circular is pretty quick, and I'm enjoying it. So that is my Haikyuu socks. Again, the yarn is from Hawari Bazaar. It's part of their anime yarn club. She usually has an anime yarn club available every month. As far as I saw today, the day that I'm filming this, she does not have her May set up yet, or her May like theme. And so I'm really, really looking forward to what her May theme is going to be. I don't always buy the selections that she puts out, but if it's something that I've read or if it's something that I have interest in, I will usually pick it up. And so, yes, I do have several anime yarn clubs to knit up eventually, but this will be my second of the anime yarn clubs that I have worked on. And so, yeah. Right now, this is in the rotation, and I will hopefully have more progress on this for you next week. So that is my Haikyuu Socks. And then I have my daughter's Fulger. This is in the Demon Slayer bag with the Muichiro zipper pull. So I put in a little bit of work on this week. We're calling it Fulger, but it is the Pure Fuzz design by Skeindeer, which was a free pattern that I received for signing up for her newsletter. So this one is looking really good. Really, really enjoying this knit so far. It's just plain stockinette right now where I am. I didn't put in too much. You can kind of see I was here the last time that I talked to you. And so I've done about 1.5 inches or so. So not too much on that one, but it's still looking really, really nice. And so I'm very happy with this so far. And again, just working round and round and round. I am holding 3 different yarns together at the same time. So this is Knit Picks Palette in Hollyberry, Knit Picks Palette in Mist, and Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud in the color Thomas, which is just a black. So this is 100% wool. Is it Highland wool? Peruvian Highland wool, 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and the Alpaca Cloud is 100% alpaca lace weight. And so all 3 of these being held together to make this fabric, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. This definitely is a pattern that fit my daughter well. She has one in Wonder Fluff from Knit Picks, and while it kind of looks similar, it kind of doesn't. Definitely different feels, because the Wonder Fluff is like next to nothing light, and it was a single strand Aran weight yarn, and it's black and really fuzzy, and she really enjoys that one and it fits her well. And this one is much thicker. There's definitely some substance to that fabric. The marling is making it look really, really interesting. And yeah, it's the same sweater, but it looks vastly different. And so I'm really, really looking forward to seeing this on her. And I'm enjoying this one. So again, really, really simple knit. Really enjoying it. Again, it is the Pure Fuzz sweater by Skeindeer. And I think if you sign up for her newsletter still, you can get it for free. At least that's how I got this pattern for free. And it is a sweater style that my daughter is really enjoying at the moment. And so, yes, I do have plans on making one of those for myself. I have a Wonder Fluff color in like a reddish kind of black color for myself. So eventually you'll see one of those for me. But as of right now, that's where I am with my daughter's Pure Fuzz, or her Fulger as we're calling it, because that was the inspiration for the colors that we are using. And then I have my new cast on. So not only do I have a new cast on, I have a new project bag. So you're wondering, Di, you've had so many project bags. Well, yes, my mother sews, and I have lots of fabric at home. So this is my new project bag. I needed something a little bit bigger. Originally, I was housing this in my Nutcracker bag from Stitching the High Notes, which I was housing my daughter's Pure Fuzz, the first one, in originally. But it wasn't big enough. And that's a sweater size bag. And there is a sweater in here. But it just wasn't big enough. I felt like I was going to zip up the yarn in the zipper. And so I asked my mom to make me another bag. And this is the one she made up. So you can kind of see. Does that look familiar to you? It is a Small World fabric. And so I really, really love this fabric. It's super fun and nice and vibrant. But in here is a new cast on. And I've been wanting to make this cast on for a while. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it because do it brings you joy, right? And so I am making a sweater for my niece. It's kind of always been the plan to make her a sweater, and I just never got around to finishing the one that I originally had decided on. And so now there are two nieces. And I think they're at a point in their lives where they can probably appreciate a knit. They do live in Hawaii, so it's not something that they'd be able to wear often, but they like to have matching things, my two nieces. There's a couple years difference in between them, and so I decided that I was going to make them matching sweaters. So I'm starting on the sweater for my older niece. The pattern that I'm using is the Last Unicorn sweater by Bad Wolf Girl Studios, or Regan. Because my older niece really enjoys unicorns. And I thought if I'm going to make her a unicorn sweater, I better make the younger one a unicorn sweater as well. Unfortunately, I do not know any of their measurements because my sister-in-law refuses to send me measurements even though I've asked. She refuses to send my mom measurements even though she has asked. And so I am going based off of the age range on the pattern, and I'm going to hope that it fits. And so that's the plan right now. And so this is what I have so far. So I am making this out of acrylic because they're kids. But this is the Last Unicorn sweater. So I've done all of the color work, and now I've split for sleeves, and now I'm just working down the body. So this was a new cast on this week, and I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with this. I am making it out of a worsted weight acrylic yarn. And so let me tell you what yarns I'm using. So I had a bunch of this from a blanket that I was going to do, and I decided not to do that blanket. But this is Vanna's Choice, which is a pretty soft acrylic from Line brand. This is 100% acrylic, worsted weight yarn in the colorway Pink Poodle. So this is my main color. And then for the unicorns, the unicorn color work here, it kind of looks white on camera, but it's actually this really like fun speckled acrylic. So this was another blanket that I had ideas to do and just didn't do it. And this is I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. I do not shop at Hobby Lobby any longer. This is really, really old stash, like 10 years, I think. I think it's been 10 years. And so it's just been sitting in my stash, and I never did anything with it. And I thought, you know what, this is something that would look really nice for the unicorns, because it'll give it a little bit of just kind of fun. And this is the fruit salad colorway. I really, really like the I Love This yarn. It's super soft. But like I said, I don't shop at Hobby Lobby any longer. And so, yes, really, really enjoyed that. So that's what I used for the unicorns. And then for this rainbow, I took apart a mandala. So I had a mandala, Lion Brand mandala, that had all of these colors in it. And so what I did was separate the colors out, and I cut the sections off and then use those sections in here. So it's actually a sport weight mandala that I had, so I ended up holding them double just to get the same like nice thickness in the fabric, and I think it looks really good. It is a little bit stiff because it's kind of tight, but I think if I soak it, it should like loosen up a little bit. And I do plan on soaking it before I give it. But yeah, so far this is what I have. And this is, like I said, for my older niece, and I'm just calling it the last unicorn sweater for Z. There will eventually be a last unicorn sweater for H, which will be in a turquoise color. And so the last time I saw them, I asked them what their favorite colors were. Z told me her favorite color was pink. H told me her favorite color was turquoise. And so that is what I'm doing. So the size that I'm doing for Z is the 8 to 10 year size on the pattern. But on the schematic for the last unicorn sweater, it says that the body after the underarm should be like 13 inches and that the sleeve should be 13 inches. I went to take a look at the measurements for the flax, worsted flax from Tin Can Knits, because, you know, they have sizes for every age range. And so I went onto their app and I took a look at what they suggested for a sleeve and body length on an 8 to 10 year old. And they suggested 15 inches. And so I'm actually going to do 15 inches for the sleeve and the body, which truthfully, it's only a couple inches shorter than what I would make for myself. As far as sleeve length goes, because I take a 17-inch sleeve to get a perfect, like, at-wrist sleeve. So I think I'm more comfortable with the 15-inch than the 13-inch, and it'll give it a little bit time for Z to grow into it. And then for H, it's going to be a 6 to 8. So I'm also going to be using the measurements on the flax instead of the measurements on the last unicorn sweater. But I'm very happy with this. I think it looks so cute. And from afar, it looks even better. Like, it's sometimes hard to see like the graphic type color work when it's up close, but now that I'm seeing it in the camera, it's super cute. And so I'm very happy with this. I think this is going to look awesome. And so I really hope that my nieces will enjoy these sweaters. And, you know, even if they can't wear it for a long time, eventually somebody else will get to make use of it, whether they give it away or pass it along to a cousin or whatever. But it's just something that I've been wanting to do for my nieces for a while, and I am finally getting around to doing it. So very happy with this so far, and we'll continue working on this. Their birthdays are later in the summer, so I'm kind of hoping to have them done like around that time, if not, you know, shortly after. So we'll see. I don't think this is going to take too long. But like I said, it is close to like a size, as far as length goes, to what I would usually make for like myself or even my daughter. And so, yeah, we'll just have to see. It'll get to them eventually, but definitely sometime this year. So very happy with that. And moving right along. And so that's all the knitting content. Let me put some of this away, and then I'll share with you my yarn acquisitions. Okay, so both of my yarn acquisitions for this week are Yarn Club installments, I guess you could say. So, as per usual, I'm part of the Kindred Spirits bi-monthly yarn club with Little Skein in the Big Wool. It is an Anne of Green Gables inspired yarn club, and I have been a part of that yarn club for several years at this point. And I'm really, really enjoying all the colorways, which is why I stay. And so the April to May skein came this week, and we always get a little card saying what the inspiration was and things like that. And so this month's skein is Miss Lavender Lewis. It says, for your yarn this month, I created a color to make us think of tea parties and late spring flowers in bloom. We, like Anna and Diana, heroines of the Anne of Green Gables series, might just happen upon an enchanted forest and enjoy tea time with a new friend just like Miss Lavender Lewis in Anne of Avonlea. This color makes me think of fairy echoes, sweet, elusive, and silvery deep in the purple woodlands. This colorway would make a stunning pair of socks, lavender peeking out from jeans, or a pair of fingerless mitts to warm your hands during an evening walk. It would also pair beautifully with our last club colorway for a larger project. So I believe the last club colorway was Apple Blossom or something like that. I think I got the alternate one because I've been a part of this yarn club for a while. Apple Blossom was the original color, and so I got the newer color, which is like a peach something. I won't be combining those two, but I'm glad that she gives like suggestions on things that you could use because, you know, sometimes you just need that type of inspiration. And so the yarn for this month looks like this. So I'm sure just by the description you knew that it was going to be lavender. And this one's really nice. It's like a lavender tonal, but it's got all different like shades of lavender, as well as some little blue flecks and some gold. And so I'm really, really enjoying this skein. I think I have a couple of skeins that I could pair with this one as well. I'm actually going through my little skein in the big wool stash because Stephen West just came out with a free pattern. Was it last week? Or was it this past week? That is like a wrap with dip stitches. And so I'm looking through my little skein in the big wool stash to see if I can pull 4 or 5 different skeins to do that wrap. And so, yes, really, really lovely. Like a cool lavender. Almost kind of reminds me of like Pez. I don't know. But really, really nice speckles. And so, yeah, I know I have a couple of purpley-ish colors in this yarn club. And so it's just a matter of, you know, finding the ones that match or finding inspiration on what to use this for, whether that be a pair of socks or fingerless mitts or using it in a larger project with other skeins. And so, yes, so this is on the cashmere blend. All of the yarn club from this Kindred Spirits yarn clubs are on the cashmere blend now. They used to be available on a standard like 75-25 superwash merino nylon, but I think it was last year she moved to the cashmere blend specifically for the yarn club. So you have no choice. It's all in the cashmere blend now. It's 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon, 420 yards and 115 grams. So yes, I really, really want to use some of these skeins because I've been collecting them for a long time. And it's just gorgeous yarn, and I need to find projects to use them in. I've only used a couple. I think I used one in my Comfort Fade Cardi, which is very pink and purple. But I don't think that I've used any of the other ones. If I did, I can't remember, but I don't think I have. So I definitely need to get on using these because my collection is starting to get kind of large. And so, yes, really, really am very happy with this yarn club, and I enjoy seeing her inspiration every other month. And so, yeah, I got that one. And then I mentioned to you a little while ago of the Hawari Bazaar anime yarn club. And so I had to get April's anime yarn club because it is very relevant to one of the Monochrome Manga Club series reads that we are currently doing. And so it came in this week, and I am very, very happy with it. It is Scorpion and Walking Mushroom Hot Pot. So this is based on Delicious in Dungeon, which is a series that we are currently reading through for the Monochrome Manga Club. And because it was Delicious in Dungeon and we are currently reading it, I absolutely had to get this one. I wasn't expecting this color scheme though. I was expecting like more of that rusty red color, because the covers of Delicious in Dungeon all have that like rusty red color. But this, the inspiration is very, very like on par with something that they eat in the very first volume. And so very, very happy with this. It's like a kind of yellowy beige with lots of different colors of speckles. And then you've got that purple mini Skein. And so, yeah. Kind of funny that the theme for this week's yarn acquisitions is kind of purpley. But, yeah. Very, very happy with this. So, I believe that after the Haikyuu Socks, this is going to be the next yarn club that I cast on. Just because we are currently reading this series for the Monochrome Manga Club. And I would like to have a pair in this colorway when we finish the series, which we'll be halfway through, I think, by the end of this month. So I have a little bit of time to get these done, but yes, we'll see. Maybe I'll make my daughter a pair because I haven't actually made hers yet. Maybe I'll make hers first in this colorway. Maybe she'll enjoy that, but there's a little bit of time to think about that. I do have to get my Haikyuu Socks done. But this is the just normal like sock base 75/25, a superwash merino nylon. The main skein is 463 yards and 100 grams, and then the mini skein is 92 yards and 20 grams. And so, yes, I've been very, very happy with all of the yarn clubs that I've gotten from Hawari Bazaar as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the theme is going to be for May. And then maybe I'll pick that one up as well. But yes, really, really enjoying both yarn clubs. And so I think that is all of the yarn acquisitions. So I think that leaves me with the last thing to talk about today, which is the drama that we finished this week. So I mentioned to you last week that we had started a drama called Doom at Your Service, which is on Netflix. And it's about a woman who learns that she only has 100 days to live. And as a like shooting star occurrence is happening over her city, she kind of vents out to the world to like, you know, bring doom to the world because she's feeling that, you know, her diagnosis is unfair and she's relatively young. And so she's just, you know, venting and says, bring doom to the world, and doom shows up at her door, which is why it's called Doom at Your Service. And so he really wants to hold her to her wish, wants her to kind of bring on the apocalypse. And so the story kind of follows them kind of going through this kind of deal that was made. And it eventually turns into a love story, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. My mom was crying a lot. She gets very emotional when she's watching. The daughter actually shed a few tears during it also, and she's not normally a crier. I did tear up a little bit, but no tears fell down my face. I'm not a very emotional watcher or a reader at that, so yeah, it was really good though. I really, really enjoyed it. Lots of actors that I'm familiar with, and it was just really good. Really, really good. So that'll leave us trying to find another drama to watch. I think there are a couple that I'm kind of interested in. There's an adaptation of 365 Days to the Wedding, which is a manga that has been releasing that I might be interested in watching the drama adaptation for. There are a couple of other ones that we were just kind of like browsing through Netflix and seeing what was available that are kind of interesting as well. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to be watching next, but I think we're going to continue to try to watch some Asian dramas. I've been really enjoying getting back into Korean dramas lately. It's been a while since I've really like watched Korean dramas. I used to watch them all the time. Like, we would watch 3 or 4 different ones during the week as they were airing, and once Drama Fever, like I said, kind of went out of business, it was hard to find Korean dramas. But now Netflix is picking them up, Hulu has them, Amazon Prime has them, so it's a lot easier to find the dramas. And so, yeah, I'll eventually pick something. And so maybe I'll talk to you about whatever we pick next week. But I think that's all for me today. So let me know down in the comments below what you've been up to. Have you been working on anything? If so, let me know what you have been working on. What did you read this week? Did you finish everything that you wanted to in the month of April? And if you are participating in the Orilium Magical Readathon, were you able to finish everything that you had planned to finish? I would really love to know. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me, is there a mushroom emoji? I think there's a mushroom, like that red cap mushroom. If not, maybe a scorpion, because this is scorpion and mushroom, walking mushroom hot pot, or any kind of like food type emoji down in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.